Good morning, guys, and welcome back to Greensboro Downtown Yoga. I'm Summer, here today with a yoga sweat hybrid class all about how to activate our core and our arms. So we're using this term called integrated arms and integrated core, which is essentially the idea that we want to get everything in our arm and everything in our core, which is our abs, our oblique, our lower back, our hips, and our spine engaged so that we can do some really cool arm balances and work towards something like a handstand. So that is the goal of today's practice. We are really going to move with some speed and with some energy. Feel free to take modifications and do anything that feels good to you. You will need one block for today's class, and before you grab that and go to your mat, make sure to hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. You are going to start at the back of the mat in a child's pose position. And just have your block somewhere near you. We're not going to use it at the moment, but in child's pose, just allow your body to be relaxed and calm into the mat. Rock your head side to side. Today, as we work with this idea of integration, our mind will focus on the idea of being bold, of how we can explore bold movement and a bold mental focus. Reach your arms forward. Lift the arms off the mat. So your hands are on the mat, but your arms are off. We start to press down with our hips towards our heels. And we feel length across our upper back. Walk your hands to the right side and feel that same press. Now your left hand is on top of your right as you really focus on pressing the hips down. Come to center, then go to the other side. So in this very first moment here, in child's pose, which is so often just a complete relaxed place, we start to integrate our arms by pressing down into the mat. Come back, center. Big deep inhale through your nose. Exhale out your mouth. Do that one more time. Feel this amazing inhale. And let go of all your worries through your exhale. Continue to breathe. Whether you inhale and exhale through your nose or your mouth, I want you to find what's comfortable for you. Make our way to all fours. Grab your block and place it in between your inner thighs. Knees are under our hips. Round and look into your belly. Exhale, arch and look to the sky. Inhale. What you might notice, especially if you do cat and cow fairly often, is that with the block in between our inner thighs, you push into it as you round. And you have to get that integration, those deep abdominal muscles start to work for us. Keep ourselves in a neutral position. Walk your hands just a little bit forward. You're going to shift weight into the front of your hand and then backwards. We're going to be on our hands a lot in today's class and our wrists. And I'm gonna really talk through how we try to take the pressure out of our wrist. But if we can do something right here to start warming up into the forearms, then we can already be in a little bit better of a place, especially if you have cranky wrists. Stay forward, rotate your hands in towards you so your thumbs are out. You're gonna do that same lean. Notice you're having to keep pressure into the block, right? Otherwise it might slip out. As you're here, you want to keep the palms on the floor as much as possible. So you only go as far back as you start to lift. Come back, center. Rotate your hands forward. We're going to do what's called palm arch, and that's going to be really important today. So this bottom part of your hand and your fingers, as straight as they can be, press into the mat while you arch the palm. So it looks like you're palming a basketball. With that feeling, tuck your toes under and lift your knees an inch off the mat. Press into the block. So your hands press down, your biceps rotate forward. You're pushed into the block and lower down. Sit back, take a big deep inhale, lift your arms high. Exhale, hands to heart center. Come back forward to all fours, toes tucked, lift your knees. Integrate your arms immediately. So you find your palm arch, your biceps rotate forward, and energy is all the way up through your shoulders. Take your knees side, center, side, center. The more you press into your block, the deeper that integration becomes. And that's what we want to find. Hold center, lower your knees, big deep inhale, lift yourself up high. Exhale, your hands come together behind your back. Look up to the sky where you push your hips forward. Inhale, lift your arms. Exhale, come down onto all fours, knees lift. Press into your block. Take your knees forward and side. And so, now if you don't have a block at home and you're doing all of this without a block, it's still completely possible. You just have to really think about squeezing in with your inner thighs, pulling in with those abdominals. Hold this one center. Lower your knees. Take the block out from in between your thighs. Place it there at the front of your mat. Big deep inhale, lift up. Exhale, hands come together. Lift up, look to the sky. Find that great arch. Walk your hands forward. Place your hands around your block. So you actually are physically holding on to that block. Press into the block. Now we're in this plank position on our knees, correct? Lift your knees off the floor. Push your heels to the back of the room. Press into the block. As you do, the elbows come in so they align directly with the wrist. And then take this little movement where you pull that block back about a quarter of an inch. Press your heels to the back of the room. You should feel every muscle in your body fired up right now. If you don't, it means you're losing that integration somewhere. Big deep inhale. Exhale, lower your knees. Lower your body all the way down to the mat. Arms reach out to the side. Lift your body, look down to the mat, and lower. So I really wanted to start today with a lot of this core work. We oftentimes just jump straight into our flows, which is great, and I love doing that. But I thought I really want us to work on some great arm integration, arm balancing If we can really dive in to working our core integrated in all angles, boy, will we be able to be even stronger. Hold this next one up. Extend your arms forward. Take the block into your hands. Press into the block. Lift your feet off the ground. Now try to pull away from each other. You're going to bend your elbows in and reach your arms away from you. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Now if this is really cranky into your lower back, just lower yourself down to the mat even closer. It means that instead of being integrated, we are just pushing into the back. Hands come back. Let's lift up into plank. Push into your block. Elbows in. Find that little bend of your knee. And now you're going to press forward. Press back. Push into the block. Elbows are aligned. And now pull the block back about 1/4 inch. Breathe. Feel the squeeze. Lower yourself down now so you're in a cobra position. Tuck your toes. Hands come under your shoulders. Lift up for the first time into a plank on your hands. Palm arch. Really important right here. Boom. Find it. Rotate the biceps forward. Lift your hips. Three-legged dog. Downward dog. First downward dog of the day. Inhale forward to plank. Palm arch. Notice the difference of with palm arch versus your hands flat on the floor and just kind of lazy arms. This is what I would look like if I wasn't palm arching. Instead, I'm palm arching. Down dog. Inhale forward to plank. Integrated. Down dog. Start to use your breath. Inhale. Exhale. One more time. Inhale. Exhale, down dog. Hold downward dog. Lift your right leg to three-legged dog. Feel the reach of the leg to the sky. Bend your knee so you pull your knee into nose. Let your knee and nose touch. Inhale up to the sky, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale. Pull your knee in. Now with this great big core integrated movement, with control, step your foot in between your hands and rise up to crescent. Did you notice how I really barely moved? My hands down here on the floor, and then I just lift my arms, keeping this really low, really stretched position. Hands come beside you. Take your left hand and push it in front. Push it in front. No. Oh my goodness, I just totally blanked. Let's just do this. Let's push both hands in front of us. Lift our arms high to the sky. Now, big, deep inhale. Hands come down beside you. Step back to plank. Downward dog. Exhale. Inhale, forward to plank. We're going to lower down to the ground. You're in this long chaturanga, yes? Come down, and then right before your head hits that block that's right in front of you, boom, back up to plank, downward dog. Left leg, three-legged dog. Bend your knee, pull in super tight. Now keep that big, deep lift of the abdominals. Inhale. Exhale, pull in. Inhale, high to the sky. Exhale, with control. Step your foot in between your hands. Lift your arms. Stay low. Be bold. Be willing to be in this really low, strong position. Inhale, hands come down. Just with that block, move it off to the side. Hands are beside your foot. Step back to plank. Downward dog. Inhale, forward to plank. Let's lower all the way down to the mat. Find your chaturanga. Then lift your chest, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, right leg, three-legged dog. Exhale as the knee pulls to your nose. Reach high to the sky. Knee to same elbow, so you touch that elbow. This is that integrated core, yes? You lift up really high. Cross your knee to the opposite elbow. Boom. Lift up high. Step your foot in between your hands. Lengthen and lift your arms high to the sky. Now push in to your front leg. You get this long lean forward. We push in and we come all the way up to a standing position. Boom, right here. We find this tall lift. Inhale. Exhale as you're going to bend and sink just a little bit lower. It's like you're doing a standing single leg squat, because while you are. Inhale. Exhale. I want you to find this hip doing the work. Lift up. Now, how do we integrate our legs? That's not our big focus today, but it's still really important. You have the toes pushing into the ground, the big toe and the small toe, to really get your leg to be strong. Hold this next one down. Step your leg back. Lift your arms up. Hands come beside your foot. Step your foot back so you're in hovering plank. That one foot is off the ground. Find your palm arch. Rotate. Big deep inhales. We rotate around into side plank. Maybe your top leg is lifted, or it's on the floor, or your bottom knee is on the floor. You have so many options. You find the one that works for you. Hold right here. Now, place your hand back on the floor, back into that three-point plank. Boom, integrate the arms. Lift up, down dog, three-pointed. Exhale, cross your knee to the opposite elbow. Touch, then extend your leg through and open up. It's kind of the reverse of where you just were in that side plank, right? Hand comes back down to the floor. We rotate, then we lift up, three-legged dog. Exhale, pull your knee into your nose. Step your foot in between your hands. With control, lift up high to the sky. Step your back foot in to meet your front. Sink low into a chair position. Reach your arms behind us. Find this lowering. So we start to sink down. And right before we're going to touch the ground, we lift back up. So we're going lower and rise. Now, when we think about core, too often we just think about our abs. But truly, our hips and our glutes are such an important part of our core integration. Let's stay low. Let's come all the way down to the floor. Hold this position. Hold right here. Hands come to the ground. Step back to plank. Lower your forearms down to the ground. So I'm in this position, and I'm just going to go whoop, forearms down to the ground. Did you notice how that was in one concise movement? Big deep inhale. Exhale, lift your hips high to the sky. Now lift your forearms off the ground about an inch, if that. This is that really deep, strong turbo dog. Lower your forearms, come forward to plank. Now, find control, palm arch, big deep inhale. Ooh, lift back up to plank. I know it's tough. Exhale, down dog. Left foot, three-legged dog. Pull your knee into your nose. Rise up high. Knee to same elbow, touch. Rise. Knee to opposite elbow, rotate. Find that twist, touch. Rise up. Touch your foot in between your hands. Lengthen and rise. Lean forward. Find that step into your front leg. Boom, and come all the way up. Beautiful. Let's sit low. Single leg and rise. Again, it's about finding stability into our hip. Lower down as much as you can go. See if you can find that really low sink position. Now step back all the way. Arms lift high to the sky. Oh, how beautiful. Hands come beside your foot. Transition. Your foot steps back. Hold. And then rotate around to side plank. Again, you find a place that's meaningful to you. But press out with your feet. Find your palm arch. Rotate back around. Keep the leg lifted and then three-legged dog. Pull your knee into your nose. And rise. Same elbow. And lift. Opposite elbow threads through. You go under the arm. You lift and rotate. Push down with your hand to really find the rotation in your body. Hand comes first, then we rotate, then leg lifts up. Bend your knee into your nose, find the knee. Step, rise. Really low, you're right here. Let's reach our arms forward, step your back foot in, hold your deep chair. Lift up, big deep inhale. Hands, heart, center. Grab your block, because I want you to do something to really get deeper. Place it in between those inner thighs, so your feet will be about hip distance apart. Press into the block. Already, you should feel as you press that these glutes have to turn on. Big deep inhale. This is going to become really important in a couple moments as we start to go into some arm balances. That you get that, whoop, reach up, inhale. And it's not about like just squeezing your butt, which is a cue that I give a lot, and I know can oftentimes be a little misleading, because you do want to squeeze your butt, but you want to really find that like wrapping. So 2 more, big deep inhale. Exhale. Big deep inhale. Exhale, hold. Lift your heels off the ground. Grab the block from in between your legs. Place it in your hands. Press into the block. Did you just feel by pressing into the block that upper body head to integrate? Yes. Lower yourself all the way down to the mat. Hands come beside that block. Step back into plank. Hold. Now lower down to your forearms. Boom. You can move the block out of the way. Press back to down dog. Turbo dog has you press in with that palm arch and lift your forearms an inch off the ground. Upper back is engaged. Your abdominal muscles are really supporting you. Lower your elbows. Come forward to plank. Lift up all the way back to plank. Beautiful. Down dog. Walk your hands back to the back edge of the mat. Sink low into your chair right here. Now, this next little series is going to be a little funky and fun at the same time. Lift your heels up. Sink as low as we can down. Hands come center. Feet step wide. You're going to sink into a malasana, low resting position squat. Let's start for a moment. Take your elbows, push in, and lift your body. All that work that we've just done has been to prepare our body so that we can start getting a little bit upside down. Take a big deep inhale. We're gonna move from this back edge of the mat to that front edge of the mat by placing our hands in front of us, shifting our weight forward, and then lifting your hips. Hands integrate, abs pull in, hips lift. Hands, abs, hips. Hands, abs, hips, stay. Hold. Hold, hands on the floor, step back to plank. Boom, big deep inhale. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, forward to plank. Lift your right leg, rotate around to side plank. Rotate back to three-pointed plank. Down dog, three-legged. Exhale, cross your knee to your opposite elbow. Thread your arm through. Open up. Falling star. So lift your hips. Integrated abs. Integrated arm. This is not full arm balance, but it starts to get you that feeling. Hand comes down. Leg lifts. Foot meets other foot. Forward. Plank. Forearms to the ground. Ooh. Turbo dog. Hips lift. Boom. Lift your forearms. Lower your forearms. Lift up. Walk. Down dog. Left leg. Three-legged dog. Pull forward to plank. I had this like brain freeze moment. I was like, that didn't feel right, but it was. Rotate around to side plank. Find your big lift. That strong position where you are in the move. You are big, you are bold. Rotate back around, three-pointed dog, three-legged dog. Come forward, knee to opposite elbow, thread and open. Push down, find palm arch so you activate that rotation. Hand comes back around. Lift back to three-legged dog. Foot to foot. Walk your hands back to your feet and just kind of make your way all the way to the edge of the mat as you sit in the chair. Lift your heels. Sink low. Now, if you want to just hang out in Malasana, please do. Or, let's make our way to the front of the mat. Hands, whoop, and down. So this is really teaching that moment of getting upside down, yes? Where you really look between your hands to start lifting your hips. Your palm arch is a crucial part of that integrated arm. Hold. Hands, step back, hold, down dog. Big lift of your heels, bend of your knees. Push your knees down to the mat so they're almost there. Now shift forward into plank. Do that again. Down, you're low, you're low, you're low. Now shift. Let's do it one more time just for fun. Push, push, inhale, exhale forward. Did you notice you wanted to start to drop? Quite possibly. New move. Take your knees wide as you lean or as you sit back into that child's pose. From here, big deep inhale. Exhale, your right foot steps forward and you're in there. Let's do that again. Step back. This is called loaded beast. Inhale. Front step. Right foot. We're only doing the right foot. Step back. One more time. Right foot. Lift up. High to crescent. High, high, high. Step your foot in. Sink low. Hands come down. Now, this is our first big arm balance today. We are going into a crow. Elbows on the inside of our legs. Lift your hips, just like in those jumps. And now pull in with those abdominals as you push your inner thighs into your triceps and your triceps into your inner thighs. Breathe. Big deep inhale. Lower your feet, step back to plank, hold plank, down dog. Sit, bend those knees, push down, push forward, jet forward. Ha. Do you feel your abdominals have to brace? Inhale, exhale forward. One more. Exhale. Ha. Loaded beast. Knees are wide. That's the difference. Push your palms forward. Now left foot steps forward, front step. Step back. Left foot. Now it has to step quietly. Otherwise, you're not integrating those abs. Let's lift up. Step your back foot in. Sit low into your chair. Lift your heels. Sink down. Find your crow. Now, if we go into crow and you're like, Summer, I just don't want to do it. I want you to come right here. I want you to work on that hip opening. Or, right this minute, here we go. Lift. Oh, abs are in. Push in with those thighs. Press that palm arch. Integrate up towards the arm. Now option, step or jump back to chaturanga. Lift up, plank, down dog. Hold downward dog. Walk your hands back to your feet. Make your way, just a little step back to the edge of the mat. Lower, take your feet wide, lower down. Everyone comes into Malasana right here. We're gonna do that one more time, okay? Like, I don't even know what we did. That's okay, I did. We're gonna make our way to the front of the mat. Hands on the floor. Lift up. Ooh. See if your hips can get a little higher. If you can float a little longer. Let's do one more. Hold. Hands floor. Step back to plank. Bend your knees. Lengthen back. Inhale. Exhale forward to plank. Just one more time. Back and forward. Loaded beast. Knees are wide. Right foot steps forward. Step back. Loaded beast. One more time. Right foot. Lift up with your arms. Ooh, step your back foot in. Sink low. Heels lift. Make our way down to the mat. So we're getting strength in the legs as we find this transition to crow. Pull in with our full body. If we start to let go, then we start to teeter and we dump into our shoulders, into our wrists. Step or jump back to plank. Down dog. Bend your knees. Lower down. This is the last time. Forward. Like this. And back. And forward. Loaded beast. Knees are wide. Left foot steps forward. Step back. Left foot. And back. Left foot rises us up. Step your back foot in. Sink into your chair. Find that pull in the wrap of your inner thighs as your heels lift. You start to lower down to the floor. Find this last crow. Breathe. Lift up out of those wrists. Step back to plank. And let's all sit back to child's pose for a moment. Circle your wrists. Do anything you need. Maybe grab some water. You're going to make your way to the back of your mat. And we're going to face forward. So a little bit different. Just a little kind of movement right here. Forward fold, extend your legs, fold over. Inhale, reach up high to the sky. Your inside leg lifts. We're gonna take that leg, step it all the way out to the side. Find this low Skandasana position. Open up your body. Oh, feel the press of your hand into the mat so that you're pushing out on the knee and getting this spiral through the mid-back and through our hip. Inhale, lift up to center. Step back to the side, rise up. Forward fold. Bend your knees, sit low. Inside leg is gonna reach. Boom. Hands come to the middle and you're gonna shift. Okay? Hands, foot, reach. It's gonna become much less confusing. And then we're gonna go back the other way. It goes foot, and then we shift low. Hands come center, step, shift, fold, in, lift your hips. Sit low in a chair. Big deep inhale, lift up. Skandasana out to the side. Open up. Push yourself back to that inside leg as you come up. Foot comes down, sink low, lift your heels, come down. Now we're gonna bring hands to the floor. That little steppy thing that we just did is gonna become a little jumpy thing. So our hands come out to the side and we go, whoop, and in, and in, go back. So I want you to just get this like length of the leg. Let's go back again. So it's down, lengthen, and down. Oh, some days I get it. Some days it's like, what is my body doing? And that's one of the days today. So it's called a side traveling gait. And it's about this length in those legs. Hold right here. Hold. You're gonna bend your knees over to the side of the room. Hands come down. Press your elbow of your front into that front knee. For extra support, we push our back elbow into our hip and we lift up, side crow. Push our feet away from us. Now think about that bottom leg extending forward. Your feet are doing that reach. If you fall out of it, it happens, right? We get back in and we go for it. Let's come back to center. Extend our legs. Roll up. Big deep inhales. We step our feet wide. Sink low. Big inhale reaches us. Exhale, sink low. Give our arms this moment to be like, I'm not on them. Lift and lower. Now stay high. To the back of the room, go into warrior two. Inhale, come center. To the front of the room, go into warrior two. Come back, center. Inhale, back of the room. Dynamically shift side to side. Center. Last one right here. Lift and in. Now rotate yourself into low lunge. Hands come beside our foot. Step our back foot in. Roll ourselves up. One vertebrae at a time. Turn to the front of the room. Big deep inhale up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come up. Lift your inside leg, right? And then Skandasana over to that side. So we find that low position. Hand comes to the floor and we start to rotate. You feel this open by spiraling. Shift your weight back over. Bring your foot in, sit low. All right, let's see if we can do this better this time. This time was a really bad dinner last time. So we are getting that little jump. It's hand, stretch. So it's like you've got this just like fluid movement. There it is. So you notice how I'm getting my feet wide. That was my problem before. So feet are wide. I'm getting that shift forward. Let's go down and back one more time. That shift forward that we did on the mat, going forward and back, it's the same thing. Now it's just side to side. Hold right here. Extend the legs. Roll yourself up. Inside leg lifts. Inhale. Exhale. Shift over to that Skandasana. Open your chest. Center yourself. Come back in. Step your foot in. Let's rotate our knees now to the opposite side. So they're going towards the long edge of the mat. Hands come in, and we go into our side crow. So you can always do this without placing your back elbow on that back hip. This is your more challenging position. Or you're here with support. Integrate your arms as you start to extend your legs away from each other. Think of pushing your toes in opposite directions. Keep playing. Keep the play. Come into center. Roll yourself up. One vertebra at a time. Step your feet wide. Lower down and rise. So I wanted to really think about using arm balances in a way that was both dynamic and static. So dynamic means with movement. So there's little jumpy type ones. Static means holding. So there's crows where we just move or where we just hold. Stay low. Warrior two. Inhale, center. Warrior two. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Stay to the back. Rotate your foot around. Step your back foot in to meet your front. Turn. And we're going to do this all one more time. Big, deep inhale. Lift your inside foot. Skandasana out to the side. Take your hands. Walk them over. Find this wide position as we go. Hands. Woo. So it's that shift, that lift of your hips, right? That's where we're going in this fluid, flowing position. Let's go down and back one more time. Really integrate your arms, which are probably tired by this point because we've been using them a lot. Hold, stay, point your knees towards the long edge of the mat. A shorter play time is your last time. Hands, find your side crow. Make your toes stay on the floor. And that is beautiful. That is perfectly okay. Start to extend your legs away from each other by pushing your toes in opposite directions. Come back in. Lift yourself up. Roll up. Step your feet wide. Big, deep inhale. Exhale. One more. Exhale. Warrior two to the front. Rotate your hands. Step in. Big, deep inhale that takes us to the front. This is the last time. Forward fold. Find your way down into that little ball. Now come all the way up. Inside leg lifts. Yes? Skandasana over to the side. Boom. Take your hands to the floor. Bring them in. Let's go traveling side 8. Hands, hips, feet. Hands, hips, feet. So when we think of it that way, hands, hips, feet, we really allow the movement to be through the entire body. Let's go down and back one last time. You might be feeling strength in your legs, and that's normal. Stay right here. Let's turn our knees to the inside long edge of the mat. Hands to the floor. Last side crow. You've got this, guys. Hands in front, elbows hooking in. You find your lift. Find the extension of your legs if that's feeling good for you right now. For me, it's not, so I'm going to stay right here. Come in, roll yourself up, step your feet wide. Oh my goodness, guys, big deep inhale. Exhale, bring your hands to your thighs. We're just gonna shift. You know, I oftentimes are like, oh, we need to do 1,000 different variations of arm balances when I decided I want to do arm balances. But I was like, how can we really integrate the core and our arms? And those dynamic ones, those ones with the little jumps, that will teach us how to do our different handstands are so great. Let's bring our arms up high. Big, deep inhale. Step your foot to the front of the mat. Lift our arms high to the sky. Exhale as we interlace our hands together behind our backs. Push the hips forward as our hands reach down towards our knees. Our head drops back, and we feel this amazing front body stretch. Inhale, stand all the way up. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, hands come beside feet. Step back to all fours. Round in, look to your belly. Exhale, arch, look to the sky. Have one last little thing I want us to do. Your arms probably are tired. Your abs and core are probably wanting to say, Summer, we've done enough. I'm with you, I feel it. That means that's how you are feeling, that every muscle in your body is working. You found integrated abs, you found integrated arms, and even without much talking about it, you found integrated legs. Let's neutralize our spine. Tuck our toes under, that same knees off the floor position that we had at the very beginning. Find it. Boom. Our knees 1 inch off the floor. Now take your right hand and your left foot and move forward. And then back. Left hand, right foot. And back. One more time. Now notice it's just this forward and back. Forward. I'm not going far. Sit the knees down. Sit back onto your toes. Let the toes get this stretch out. Big deep inhale up. Now, for what we're about to do, if that little variation right there, that opposite arm and leg is what you want to do, please stay there. It's such a great deep core integrated movement that truly we could do that instead of this. But I want to do where we're about to go. Exhale, forward fold over. So we find that same position. Now pull your knees just a little bit closer to your belly button. So they're not under your hips anymore, but they're under your belly button. Toes tuck under. Lift your knees an inch off the floor. Take your right foot, thread it through in between your leg. Then come back to center. Other leg. Thread and center. Thread So this is called a side kick through. One more, side kick through. And we're doing it really slow right now. Hold, lower, sit back, inhale. Exhale, hands behind you. Sit up, open your chest. Sit back down, lift your arms high to the sky. Exhale, hands come back beside your, under your hip, under your shoulders. Lift up, big deep inhale. Exhale, side kick through. Now, with a little bit of energy, I want you to bring your one leg up and then kick through. Did you notice how I did that? I switched legs in the air. So we're going to switch and down. Let's do one more time each side. And I know you don't have to be doing this version, but I'd really like you to. Come back to all fours. Now take your right leg. It's going to go underneath, and you're going to flip around. You're in now what we call crab. Press and open your chest. Hold right here. Lift your right hand off the floor. Press your hips high to the sky. As you do, you start to rotate your hips up. You get this spiral through the middle of your back. We ease down, back to center. Hand comes back to the floor. Right foot again, threads underneath your left, and you flip back to all fours. Sit your hips down, sit back, big deep inhale. Do anything, like I think it feels really great to rotate our wrist right here. Our music stopped, I'm gonna get it going back. Rotate those wrists. All right, let's try it on the other side. Hands come back down, lift up. Now this is really important to have palm arch and integrated arms. If you don't, your wrists are gonna hate it. So knees under belly button, lift up, boom. Left foot through. Now give that power to go, whoop, and thread. Rotate, boom, and thread. And one more each side. Make it strong. Make it your big, grand, bold finale. Come back to all fours. Left foot goes under your leg. You rotate around. Boom. Left arm comes in. We lift our hips up and rotate. Feel the press of the hips to the sky. The spiral. Lower back down. Hand comes. Left foot again. Threads under. Come back to all fours. Knees down. Hands forward. Child's pose. Amazing work, guys. We're going to finish on our backs. Grab your block and lay on your back, okay? Take the block and place it under your hips. So we're in our supported bridge. Allow your arms to simply rest by your side. Eyes are shut. And right at this moment, we simply allow our body to relax into the ground. We've done so much great big work. We're giving ourselves this opportunity right here to relax. It's really powerful. Lift your hips off the block. Lower your hips all the way to the floor. Let your knees fall open to the side. Your arms open out to the side. Bend both knees in. Let them fall, hug into the center of your chest. And then fall to one side. Look over your opposite shoulder. Bring your knees to center. Then fall to the opposite side. Bring your knees back to center. Extend your legs long in front of you. Let your hands rest by your side. Your eyes stay closed as you find your final Shavasana. Your time to let go, to release the expectations and the stories, to be present and engaged. We bring awareness to our fingers and our toes. Let them wiggle around and feel space in a way that might be unfamiliar, might be new and old. Circle your wrists, your ankles, your knees, and your hips. Let your arms reach back. Feel a great long stretch from finger to toe. Hug your knees to your chest. Roll over to one side. Push yourself up to seated. In this final moment, with your eyes open or closed, be grateful to your body for all that it just did. If that idea of integrated arms and integrated core is new to you, you might be feeling some muscles that you're not used to, especially if oftentimes you just kind of move through the positions. So it's a little different way to think. And be proud of yourself for being bold and willing to try it. Go out into the rest of this day with a renewed sense of energy, calmness, and gratitude. Thank you. Until next time, I'm Summer.